Hello, beautiful people. Hey, look, before I start this session, I have a big announcement to make. And, the documentary that's been in the works for a long time about my son Eric's life, it's almost finished. But in order to get to that finish line, the director producer Paula Marino needs some help. So she needs funds to cover all the professional fees that will be involved to bring the story to the screen, like a professional story editor, a music composer, a sound mixer, an illustrator, animator, etc., etc. Now, Paula created a crowdfunding page where you can donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You can also donate by purchasing a 30-minute session with one of our mediums, or by purchasing an item from the Erik merchandise store, like the one I'm wearing. Saving the world one prank at a time. It's an embroidered image, so it's really nice. So anyway, go visit channelingericdoc.com and take a look at it. This project is very near and dear to my heart. And one of my greatest wishes is to get the story out to more people so we can help more people. And I want you to go and see the trailer that's on the channelingericdoc.com. It's so moving. It's so powerful. It was my first reaction. It was a gut punch. Um, but it says it all. So look at the trailer and let me know what you think. Thank you, guys.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Channeling Erik. I am not Elisa, obviously. I'm Courtney Dillon, and we are trying out a new format today. And this is the amazing and wonderful and talented and my favorite and my friend. So, Veronica Drake, who I adore and love, and she's just the best medium ever. That's how I think of you. And I just love you. So we are going to we're exploring a new format. So let us know in the comments if you like it. So I am the host today, which is a little bit of a different role, but it's fun. We're having a good time. So today we are interviewing, well, Erik's with us. So hi, Erik. He's coming in. And we are also talking to Cleopatra. So I have a little intro that I'm supposed to read, I guess, and I will read it and then we will get started. Okay. Cleopatra was the queen of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of England from 51 to 30 BC, and she was the last active Hellenistic pharaoh. She was the member of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a descendant of its founder, though I don't know how to say that name. Sorry, a Macedonian Greek general and companion of Alexander the Great. So her first language was Greek, actually, which I didn't know that. And she is the only ruler to have learned the Egyptian language among several others. So after her death, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire, marking the end of the Hellenistic period in the Mediterranean. That's interesting. 31 BC, Cleopatra and Mark Antony lost the Battle of Actium. Octavian, the future Roman Empire, prevailed by defeating Antony and Cleopatra, who eventually committed suicide. So there's a little history lesson for us, Veronica.
Oh, God. Listen, I did not know that.
I did not know that either. So anyway, I'm going to ask questions and then last time we kind of just both got information, so we'll see what happens, right? It'll be fun. Okay, so let's see. We have reader questions, and they're always so excellent. So we'll see what people want to know. All right, I have my list here, so I'm going to look at the list, and this is going to be part one because there's quite an extensive list of questions. Okay, here we go.
Before you start, Erik says he wants to pay respects to Cleopatra, who is in the room. And I want to say, just right out the gate, she is a force.
Oh man, I felt her energy coming in this morning and I was like,
right?
Hello.
And
Yeah.
Erik is like doing this, like
Yeah.
she is the epitome of the queen, right? She's commanding, she's influential, she's powerful. And the other piece of her, she's really sexy, like
Oh,
the
oh, yeah.
seductress. I mean, and then
Yes.
there's this allure, like she has this beautiful purple haze around her, like she's this divine feminine, incarnate into this human. Like
She actually is. Yeah.
yeah, she's just beautiful.
She feels like goddess energy, you know?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. She's powerful to be in the presence of. So I'm
So
honored.
I'm just thank you for letting us speak with you today.
Yeah.
Okay. Cleopatra, what was your spiritual contract when you came to Earth?
She's got a beautiful, radiant smile. And she says, part of my contract was to empower the femininity of humanity.
Mm,
Not necessarily women, but the element of femininity, the
mm,
feminine energy.
mhm,
She also says there's a lot of, uh, um, there's a lot around peace
mm,
and a lot around teaching not only women, but those who were close to her. And this is an interesting word, how to shapeshift.
mm.
Now, when she says shapeshift, she's not saying it in like the terms like we understand it, but how to shapeshift, how to almost morph into something more than you are.
Also, I hear the word alchemize. Like she was a big alchemist and she's teaching people how to alchemize pain, trouble, suffering into like higher, and I don't mean higher better, but more like higher emotions, higher
Yeah.
emotional energy. She's
Yeah.
very powerful and she's an aspect of the sixth ray. Okay, which is the ray of the divine feminine. She came to offer teachings and healings on the earth plane.
She's
She's an
extremely
embodiment of wisdom, compassion. She taught
intelligent.
others intelligence, right? Um, and she teaches us to embody both men and women, right? Both men and women to embody our own divine feminine aspects. So it's really nothing to do with being a woman. It's about embodying those
Well,
traits or characteristics within ourselves. Okay.
also, she's very strategic in nature in every way, but she's super intelligent when it comes to making political moves, we'll say, knowing when to do what and how to do it. She's a brilliant leader.
Yeah, I got chills. Okay. I think this answers the second question a little bit. We did, but what was your temperament and personality like?
The first word is she says, I could persuade anybody to do anything. And she's got her hands on her hips. And you know what she's given? She's given Cher vibes.
Totally.
Like, her hands are on her
Yeah, yeah.
and she's just really this powerful persuader is what I would say I would characterize her as.
She feels so like also like doesn't take any shit from anyone, honestly, you know.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says the other side of me, please note, the other side of me can be very cunning when I need.
It feels like this was a really interesting time for her to incarnate because it's all men around her. I mean, she shows me these groups of men. Everywhere you go, everywhere she is in this position of power, there's all these men. And she is able to hold her own. She's able to really have men listen to her and respect her and honor her. And it feels like a very interesting experience. So she's
She's
showing
just
me.
so beautiful, like her energy, her eyes. And she says that women should use everything within their realm of capability. And that's not to say to use it for deceit or to use it for manipulation, but just understand your complete full power as a feminine.
That's what she can teach us to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from a reader. I would love for her to describe what she looked like. Is the description in books right now, right or near what you were, what you looked like?
She's laughing because she said, Cher was kind of it, she said. I wouldn't be considered the traditional beauty, but what is traditional beauty? She says. I see her, and now it's funny because ever since she mentioned Cher, all I can see is Cher, and the dark hair she has, and very prominent cheekbones, and a nose that's very and a strong jawline.
Yeah, I got the same strong jawline, and her eyes are very piercing, though.
Yes,
like very piercing.
Yes. Almost like she's mesmerizing you. She's charismatic and she's intelligent. I've never really channeled anybody that feels quite as mesmerizing as her. She's alluring.
Yes. Okay. What was your life in Egypt as a child like, and also your adult life in Egypt? So really that's two questions. They want to know about her life as a child and as an adult.
As a child, she was extremely curious and fixated on learning about humanity and what makes people tick. She also, you mentioned alchemist, and she's also showing me how she loved to blend potions together, which we might refer to as medicines. My adult life, she said, was all about the intrigue of battle. She studied war. It's what she knew. And she also studied diplomacy, what it took to be a diplomat in times of strife and struggle. And it seems like her childhood set the foundation for that with her curiosity into humanity. So well-rounded.
Yeah, very well-rounded. The other thing I'm getting about her childhood is that she came in bringing this knowledge from a previous lifetime, like bringing this knowledge of wanting to work with the plants and the medicines, like bringing in this knowledge of alchemy. It almost felt intact or fully formed. She brought it in ready to, and she also brought it in ready to lead. So even she had this curiosity, but she also, even as a child, it feels like people felt her presence, felt her power, felt her energy. So
what people might not know about me, she says, is I am very driven and led by the moon and the stars. And I'm asking her, is this a reference to astrology? And she says yes.
Yes. Like a full understanding of astrology and the influence of the planets. Okay. And then she's showing me through her leadership, she would use her understanding of astrology and the planets to decide what to do and strategic moves. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got chills on that. She says they were my guides.
And the influence of astrology on her own life, she's mentioning. So she's talking about how important it is to understand the influence of the planets on our own lives. Because what she's saying is it will really help you, and she's talking to people listening, understand when to take a big move in your life, when to go forward, when to retreat, when to go internal, when to study, when to write, when to move externally in the world. So it really will help us with this understanding. So she's suggesting today that people really understand the influence of the planets on their own chart, but also their own lives year to year.
Yeah. She's also talking about battle, and she's not talking about external battles. She's talking about internal battles. Know when to use the planets and the stars and the moon to work through your internal battles.
She shows me Saturn when you say that, the planet Saturn, understanding the planet Saturn within your life. Okay. Cleopatra, this is from a reader. Is it true that you have Anunnaki DNA?
I don't get a clear cut yes,
I don't
but
either.
what I hear is people feel that there has to be a belief in something, that it had to begin somewhere, but I don't have the DNA running through me. And I can't get a clear yes or no on that, but and it seems very convoluted, but that's what I heard. Do you get anything more clear?
I got no, actually, and I heard she took me immediately, she takes me immediately to the stars, that she does have star planetary or influence from other star systems, from
Yep.
other galaxies, from other star beings, is what I'm hearing. But
Yep.
I did not get a yes that it was in fact an Anunnaki.
Right. Right. And that feels right to me. Like I get chills with that. Yeah, she likes the term star being.
Yeah, that's what she's showing me too. Okay. Did you know any extraterrestrials?
Not like you perceive them to be on your planet and your time, but yes, people who came from other dimensions, people who came from other planets. Yes, she says for that regard, but don't think sensational or modern definition of.
I also get her saying that at this time on the planet, it was more understood and recognized that beings from other planets had influence and contact with the Earth. Like we knew this at this time. We understood this. It wasn't something to be afraid of. It wasn't even actually what you're saying, sensational. It wasn't, oh my gosh, ETs. It was just like, of course, we have contact with these other beings because we knew about them. We understood them. We received a lot of information, she's saying, from them.
Yes.
When you visited the Great Pyramids at Giza, what did you think about?
Holy, divine, sacred ceremonies and rituals were held there.
Yeah, beautiful, intricate. She's showing me these very intricate multi-day ceremonies.
Didn't you see them? Weren't you there?
Yeah, I did. I was there a year and a half ago. It was very powerful experience. Yeah. Oh, you answered the question, the next question. Did you hold ceremonies there?
Yes, she said, as did many, 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 many others.
This is a big part, she's showing me, of the culture and the way that they lived. There was an observance of time to go in ceremony, to conduct ceremony, to be in ceremony. This was part of and she's showing me it often had to do with the moon and the sun. And there was because of she and others had the understanding of the movement of the planets, they would know when it was time to conduct a ceremony or be in ceremony. Okay. All right, we're moving right along. Were you aware there were burial monuments, and would you have known who was buried there?
it was common knowledge that there were burial monuments there, but I wouldn't know who they were. These pyramids were ancient even when I was visiting them.
Mm.
They predate, so she wouldn't know
Yeah, I got
what
the
I'm
same
getting.
thing.
I don't know. What do you
That's
get?
I got the same thing. She said, yes, it was part of the understanding that everybody had. It seemed like everybody kind of knew this, but she didn't know all of the different people.
Right. It would be
Right.
impossible, I think, to know that.
Yeah. Okay, here's a good one. Can she tell us how the pyramids were built?
There's divine sophistication.
Mhm.
It's the first thing I hear. And there is, she's showing me such intricacy, and she's using the word engineers. Now, we wouldn't have called them that then, she said, but the sophistication, and also she's showing me the people, the humans, I guess, that were building, constructing them were big. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, big, but they could,
Like giants
Yes.
almost, right? Is that what you get too? I'm like,
yes,
I think they're actual giants. That's
yeah.
what she's showing me. Okay.
And very intelligent, because the detail and the intricacies and the level of what she's showing me as engineering ability. She
Yeah.
said it was more than a human construction.
That's what she showed me too. She showed me the influence of other star systems,
Yeah.
like gave us this knowledge. And we took the knowledge from other star systems, and there were beings that helped construct these pyramids that we would recognize today. That we
Right.
haven't even, oh, she's showing me, we haven't even unearthed their remains, so we don't even know about them.
I almost feel like she's showing me, obviously they're non-existent, but I don't know if what I'm seeing is they just went home, went away, because the fact that there aren't any to find, she's saying that it will never be revealed.
Right. She's showing me though the hall of Amenti, Amentes. I hope I'm saying this right. So she's saying it. We might have to look it up. Somebody in the comments will, I'm sure, know.
Oh, let us know.
They'll correct me. Sorry. Yes, and there's sacred and divine knowledge stored within this hall. It's like a giant library, and you can go there. It's like a realm. We can actually travel there. We can learn information. We can study. They very much understood multi-dimensional travel at this time. They could go to different dimensions. So something that we think of as not existing, or we haven't found it, or it's not a physical place, you can also, does this make sense what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain. Go there. That's what
Yeah.
she's showing me.
She's likening it to the Akashic records, meaning it's a,
This is it. Yes.
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 And she's saying that us at this time and place, we're not as sophisticated as we think we are. Comparatively, she said, when you can see the tangible history that you see, yes, you're sophisticated, but when you go back to when I was here, there was a different level of sophistication.
Understanding, knowledge.
Yeah.
We have at this point lost a lot of the knowledge that they had, but we're getting it back little by little. It's going to take time. It's going to take an inward journey within ourselves also, kind of like an up leveling of our consciousness. When we do that, the knowledge will be able to match the knowledge, and the knowledge will begin to return to us in the planet. It's happening, but it feels slow. It
Yeah.
feels like a snail's pace at the moment, but this will happen. This is what's happening. That's why she's here, agreed to talk to us today. Thank you. Okay. I'm very grateful she agreed to talk to
Oh
us.
yeah, she's
She
just a
doesn't-
beautiful energy.
She doesn't agree to talk to everybody, it appears. Okay. Is it true you came up with notable Egyptian makeup we often see depicted in ancient Egypt as a pathway for fellow ladies at the time to love themselves and as an angry way to deeper spirituality? So I'm not sure what that last part means, but we'll see what
Yeah.
she says.
Erik is so funny because Erik says she had her own skincare line.
She did. She totally did.
You know,
She kind of smirks. She kind of smirks.
yeah, she says that it is different than why you use skincare. She believed that the medicinal part of it was helpful through the body, as well as the spiritual part. You were actually putting spiritual energy into your face with what you used.
It's like these herbs and these tinctures and
Yes.
it's really based on plants and the spirit of plants, the consciousness of plants. She's showing me that when you put these very sacred oils, in particular, these very sacred oils on your skin, on your face, you are adorning yourself, you are blessing yourself. Yes, you're blessing yourself with these oils. And there is something that can happen to your physical body. Your body is elevated. The vibration of your body is elevated.
Absolutely. It's a frequency thing. And this was not a vanity thing. The other thing she showed me, like, you know, one of the things, mortal, what do you call it? A pestle and like
mortar? Yeah, exactly. I can see
like,
it too.
There's some sort of stone or something
Mhm.
that's very finite and crushed and then combined with the oils. I almost feel like it's still something that we use. I can't hear what she's saying, but she's showing me the crushing of the stone. And then it's almost like in powder form. And then when you do oil
Like,
and
it's oil, and then she shows me the eyeliner too. Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's this like black, almost like ash or something.
Yeah.
It's created, it's something she burns. Oh, okay. She burns something and it looks a little bit like resin. And then you take a little, almost like a paintbrush, and then you paint it on like this.
Yes, I have chills with that. And she's saying, you have to understand that every time and place makes do with what it has. She's just amazing. She's brilliant. I think we would call her an innovator, an influencer, and an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Erik is
And
laughing.
it makes me want to really examine the things that I'm putting on my face.
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, oh, I don't think my mascara is like.
Wait a minute.
You know.
I hear, do you know malachite?
Yes. Yes.
I hear it and I'm thinking there's a connection to what she's saying with the crushing. But again, malachite. So I would say to everybody listening, research malachite. I'm getting it very strong from her.
It's like there's the influence also of malachite on this makeup. And you would also infuse it. There's some type of like alchemical process that's happening where she's infusing it with energy. So there's like the plant, the blessing of the plant, and putting it on your face. And then she knew how to sort of infuse this makeup with different properties, with different characteristics. It's pretty interesting.
Fascinating. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
I think she answered the next one, but we'll, what I think she just answered this, but what ancient skincare secrets can you share with modern women? I think she answered that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one. Can you tell us any ancient wisdom on weight loss?
Your society is very obsessed with that. While you think or see imagery of me, I wasn't a stick figure. I wasn't what you would consider full figured. I was voluptuous and curvy.
She had lots of curves.
Mhm. And she says, there's no shortcut. If you think about the times I ate what was available to me, and that mostly were grains and, more healthy stuff.
Yeah, the weight loss, the fixation with weight loss, she's showing me points to a deeper and she's talking about women. This could apply to men too, but right now she's talking about women. Points to the deeper dissatisfaction, the deeper inability that modern women have to love themselves. She talks about weight loss will be a natural byproduct of loving yourself, meaning when you love yourself, you would choose more pure foods. You'll choose more pure beliefs about your body, meaning that my body is a temple and I will treat it as a temple. My body is one with source and I will treat it as such. And so you will not spend time judging your body as much. Also, you will eat according to your constitution, but also if you are more voluptuous, if you are more full figured, if you are thinner build, you will be still honoring the temple of your body if you learn to love yourself. And this is part of what she's teaching with the divine feminine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And she also says that while she knew she was so alluring and she knew that she was revered as so beautiful, they were tools in her toolbox to execute her bigger mission.
Mm.
And she never really looked at herself that way. She just was.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Did she, okay, so this is for Cleopatra. Did she exercise? And if yes, what did she do for exercise?
There was a whole lot of walking,
I saw the same
obviously,
thing. Mhm.
for her. And also she's doing the movement, dance, a
Mhm.
lot of dance.
She's saying they didn't think of exercise in the same way that we think of it as something separate that we need to go do as part of our lives, because our lives are just much more sedentary. At that time, it was just natural. They would walk around, they would move, they would, yes, dance. And so dancing also was a big part of these ceremonies. And so that's what
Yep.
she's showing you, these
That's what
ceremonies,
she
lots
said.
of dancing.
Yep, there were rituals and ceremonies, but then there was also dancing for pleasure. That was the outlet for socializing rather.
Okay. How were women treated during your time as Cleopatra?
She says poorly. They were kept. It's
They
not
didn't have
even
any rights.
right.
They didn't have any
It's
rights.
not even fair for me to say they were second-class citizens, she says, using that phraseology, because they were not, they were thought of as possessions.
I heard slaves.
Yep. No,
Slaves.
that's what she's alluding to, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we are going to do maybe 3 or 4 more. What can we learn from you being such a powerful woman?
How you see yourself and how you position yourself and how you understand strategically what needs to be done and where you fit in that whole process is the key to power. You can't go powerhousing into a cause or a mission and just randomly run in. She's using the phrase like a bull in a china shop. There has to be strategy behind it. And there has to be a strategy that is unique and familiar to you. You can't take someone else's concept and make it fit the strategy of you. There has to be a
Absolutely.
union. Yeah.
And she's also showing me, reminding us to remember the influence of the stars, of the planets in our own lives. This is very important. Even though we might, take astrology kind of, some of us, I mean, I think it's important, so I understand this, but some people, we might just read our horoscope and move on with our day. She's like, really dive in and understand. This is a key to understanding who we are and how we came to operate in our power in the world. So it's really the same thing as what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Okay, this person wants to know if there are any sex magic rituals she can share.
Um, sex was for pleasure, of course, but sex was also considered by her a very sacred union. And the power that the feminine held in that union was what she really, Erik says, just say it, got off on. Erik.
She's also saying to me that most people, most modern people, do not understand the power of sex in their own lives. They take it for granted. Sex is a powerful tool for manifestation. You can learn to use sex, use the energy created within the beauty of this act to manifest in your own life.
Yeah, that chills. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Okay, we'll have two more for part one. How can women come easily in their power or inner balance?
She said that the number one is intuition. Trust your gut. Yeah.
She's saying also that she would say about that question that it's not always easy. It's not always easy. When we know to do so, like sometimes she's very powerful, but she had to go against the grain several times in her life, meaning that she had to trust what she knew to be true when others were telling her otherwise.
She stands, and I keep looking over here because she's off to the side. I can feel her energy there. And she's got her hands on her hip. And she said, the real secret is self-mastery.
I
No
got
one
chills.
self. No oneself.
No oneself. Yeah, that's powerful. Okay, last question for part one. What were your life lessons in the incarnation of Cleopatra?
I learned a lot about being overly ambitious. I learned power doesn't stay. You can't command power forever. Power is earned. And true alliances are to be treasured and valued as they can be very fragile. Yeah.
She also learned about who you can trust. Who you can trust.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to say she has the hair, the dark hair, but she's adorned with a beautiful, it looks almost like pearls on the, like a one side here. And I wish I could draw, because if I could draw what I see in my
I
mind's eye,
know, it's so beautiful.
she's elegant and beautiful. And
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, we will stop there for part one, and thank you to Erik and Cleopatra and the incredible Veronica Drake for being the guest today, or I guess you're the guest.
Yes. Yes, I'm the guest.
And we will do part two. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Love you,
So
Courtney.
make sure and like and subscribe and tell us what you think in the comments.
You can love our channel too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Love our channels. Love all the channels. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, honey.
Bye.